I'm so sad that the series is over, but this was a very beautiful ending to what was, for me, a life-changing series. Hello, my lovely people. Welcome back for another video. We're back in the rocking chair. So y'all already know it's time to go ahead and get into some of these books. It is a bittersweet moment because we need to talk about this new release. It is time to talk about Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan. I just got my physical in, but I did also receive an art copy through Forever Publishing. So thank you so much to Forever for sending that over. Guys, the series is over and it is such a bittersweet moment for me. Skyland Series was my first touch point with Kennedy Ryan. Before I Let Go was my first read from Kennedy Ryan ever, and that fully shaped the way that I read Black romance, that I read romance in general, the way that I see romance. And once I got into that book, I just couldn't let go of Kennedy Ryan's writing. So now we're finally at the end with Hendrix's story. I have been in love with Hendrix since the beginning. Hendrix is, she's just fire, you know, like she is the epitome of confidence and spark, joy, and grace. Hendrix is that rich auntie that everybody wishes they could be, right? She shows up to the party with toys for the kids and libations for the adults. She's that auntie. And I was so excited to get her love story. We have seen Hendrix throughout the first two books really like leaning into her friends. The way she really guided Yasmin, right? And the way she encouraged Soledad throughout what she was going through. I knew that Hendrix's story was going to be so layered, but I was not prepared for what we got with this one. This book hit me in the gut, and I think that out of all of the women in the Skyland series, I think that I relate to Hendrix the most. First things first, let's talk about what we're getting here. So this follows our girl Hendrix. Hendrix is a prominent businesswoman. She's in her early 40s. She's single, child-free by choice, and she is just living up life. But Hendrix is also living through a lot. We have Hendrix at this stage in her life dealing with the fact that her mother is living with and suffering through Alzheimer's disease. She received her diagnosis, and it becomes very, very clear that things are going to really have to change. Like, they can't keep pretending that they can go on just business as usual. And so Hendrix is navigating being a strong businesswoman while also opening up her heart to love and trying to be a foundation for her mother who is quickly slipping away. At the top of the book, we are introduced to Hendrix. She is at a party in Miami with one of the clients that she is managing. She's trying to get her out there and start a new show. And one of the showrunners that she's working with is hosting this all-white party. The showrunner is the girlfriend of a prominent billionaire and business owner, Maverick Bell. Maverick is really chill, right? Like, he makes his own money. He is doing the damn thing in his career, but like a lot of things he's already done. And so he does not want any more children. He's already had one child. And what the world doesn't know is that Maverick and his girlfriend Zara have already broken up. When Hendrix meets Maverick, she doesn't know who she is. He's enamored with her because she is the life of the party. His first introduction to Hendrix is Hendrix leading the entire party in the electric slide. She is glowing. She is the woman that everyone wants to be around and talk to. When he finally gets the opportunity to get her alone, he's like, this woman is different. Like, her energy hits different. Something about her hits me deep in the gut. And during their meeting, not only does she discover that he is the Maverick Bell, but things are kind of cut short when she gets a call from her aunt letting her know that her mom is having one of her spells and that she needs some help to calm her down. And this is really when Maverick homes in on who Hendrix is, because he overhears Hendrix comforting her mom and singing hymns to her, and just trying to be that little bit of peace in her mother's life. Little does Hendrix know that Maverick understands exactly what she's going through, because he also watched his grandfather deteriorate in the same way from Alzheimer's. And this is really where the story begins for Hendrix and Maverick. They're both kind of caught in this difficult place of trying to choose between business and love. Hendrix has always been very much business first. She has always put her career over everything. But now Maverick really has her questioning, maybe I should really consider putting love above everything. It's never really been at the forefront for her, but this is the first time where she has really felt that, I know I don't want kids, I don't want a family in that aspect, but I do want my person. And she finally challenges herself to claim it. And Maverick doesn't let her avoid the obvious. This was such a stunning read for so many reasons. I think one thing that has surprised me is that a lot of people have said that they felt like Hendrix didn't get an epic love story, and I beg to differ. I think Hendrix's story feels so different because Hendrix is already there when it comes to her own self-love. Hendrix is a woman who is confident. She loves herself. She loves her body. She struts. She flaunts. That is not an issue for Hendrix, where in the first two books in the Skyland series, we really see Yasmin and Soledad struggling with their self-worth, right? Yasmin is feeling defeated because she lost her marriage, she lost a child. She genuinely feels like she is the problem. She doesn't see that she is worth fighting for, that what she has is worth fighting for. And then we have Soledad, who is also kind of in that space of being with a husband who no longer appreciates her, who seems to not like her new womanly body and curves and all the things that have come with her giving him children. He doesn't care about her interests. He doesn't care about her business ventures. He is not interested in anything that has to do with her. He's only interested in her making him look good. And so all of her identity has gone into being a wife and being a mother. And a big part of Soledad's journey was her reminding herself who she was, figuring out who she is now that she is divorced with 2 children in the middle of a huge scandal that her husband has thrown her into, and understanding that she is still worthy. She might be older and her body may look different, but she is still a badass bitch, right? We don't have that for Hendrix. Hendrix has already done the work. She's there. And so her love story looks very, very different because Hendrix has already done the work of loving herself and knowing that she is worthy. Hendrix knows that she's worthy of love. It doesn't matter how big she is. It doesn't matter how dark her skin is. She knows that she's worthy. It's whether, for her, the difficulty is, do I have a place in my life? Is it worth giving up all of the things that I have worked so hard to achieve as a woman who looks like me? Is it worth giving all of that up for the love of my life? And she comes to the conclusion that yes, it is worth it. I think that her love story is absolutely epic. It's just that her love story looks different for so many reasons. I relate to Hendrix for so many reasons, and I've seen bits and pieces of myself in all of the books in the Skyland series, but I think especially with Hendrix, her being a child-free woman by choice. And even though I am a woman that just entered my 30s that really wants to be a mother, I have also been very clear about the fact that if that does not happen for me, like, I'm okay. Being a mom is not the end all be all for my identity, especially living with endometriosis and PCOS. The reality that I may not be able to have the conventional family has always been on the table for me. It's been on my mind since I was probably like 15, 16 years old. And so people are often off-put when I say that, like, if I can't be a mom, it's fine. People are often like, well, don't just give up. It's not giving up. It's just that I understand that my identity goes further than just my ability to have babies. And I saw so much of myself in Hendrix, and being very steadfast in that this is my choice. I'm not going to change my mind. And oftentimes for those of us who don't have children now, or just don't want to have children in general, we get hit with a lot of pushback. We get hit with a lot of judgment because we want different things for our lives. And society still holds us to a very bleak standard, in that we are supposed to give everything over to just being a mom and just being a wife. And for women who want that, that's wonderful. But there are women who also want way more in life. And Hendrix is one of those women. I also felt so seen in the scenes with Hendrix and her mom, and watching her mom go through Alzheimer's. I lost a godmother to Alzheimer's. It was rough. And the accuracy in watching somebody that you love slip away in such a difficult manner. They have days where they know you and days where they don't. I remember the last time that I saw my godmother, she didn't look the same, and she didn't know anything that was going on. She didn't even really know that she was there, right? She had one moment of being lucid where she looked at me and she was like, "Hey, baby," and then just blank. And that was it. That was the last time that she knew me. And seeing that so carefully, accurately represented in this book, it hit me. The prologue had me in shambles alone. The prologue on its own had me in shambles, but the representation for Alzheimer's as someone living with the disease and someone who is caring for someone with the disease it's some of Kennedy's best work. Kennedy Ryan does chronic illness, neurodivergence representation so well. And this right here really shined through. It was heartbreaking in so many ways. But of course, Kennedy always puts us back together. I absolutely adore this book. Like I said, I feel like this is the one that truly relates to me the most in terms of the things that I see Hendrix going through, her obstacles, and getting older and realizing that love can in fact be a sacrifice, and trying to decide if it's a sacrifice that's worth it. I thoroughly enjoyed the book. Once I picked it up, I couldn't put it down. I did buddy read this with my friends, so we had a really good time with this book as well. Again, thank you so much to Forever Publishing for sending this arc over to me. I absolutely adore Hendrix. I adore the story, and I adore Kennedy Ryan. I'm so sad that the series is over, but this was a very beautiful ending to what was, for me, a life-changing series. This series really has changed me in the way that I read, the way that I feel about myself, the way that I look at love. And so I think this was such a beautiful and stunning end. Hendrix and Maverick, yeah, I love them down. All right, my loves, you guys tell me, did you pick this up? Have you read it yet? I mean, she's beautiful. I love the purple. I mean, Hendrix had to have a purple book. She had to have a purple book. And also, we get art. I love it. It's stunning. It's beautiful. I can't wait to hear what you guys think about this one. I had a wonderful time with it. It was an entire vibe. To me, it's taking place as one of my top Kennedy Ryan books. It is one of my favorites of all time. I love y'all. Thank you guys so much for pulling up for this rocking chair review. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave me a like, leave me a comment down below, and subscribe while you at it. If you hear, you might as well. I'm just saying. I love you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.